What is going on, everybody? Welcome to today's video. I'm doing the intro now, so I don't have to do it tomorrow morning because I'm getting up at like 4:30 in the morning to leave. But in today's video, my dad and I are going to the John F. Kennedy Presidential Library and Museum. As you can see behind me, I'm a very big history guy and a very big president's guy. So I've always wanted to go to a presidential library, and this one is one of the closest ones to me. So I have a free weekend, so we're going to go check it out, and we're going to have fun. So it's going to be a really cool experience, and we're going to bring you guys along, so let's get right to it.
Huh?
New England Patriots press penny economy.
Sailboat out there.
His design and start all over again. Okay, so that's where he came up with this design. I am paying for some of you.
Got some campaign posters.
In some talk, not what I intend to offer the American people, but what I intend to ask them. The new frontier is here. What do we see or not? I believe that the time requires imagination and courage and perseverance. I'm asking each of you to be pioneers towards that new frontier. My call is to the young at heart, regardless of age, regardless of gender, regardless of color. All
Here are Robert Johnson and Dave Marcus with non-enough music.
John F. Kennedy, another man. Which one will be a strong hand to take the stage?
So far, this is really cool, and for your ticket, they just give you like a presidential seal sticker to wear while you're here. Pretty cool. Now we got all of his buttons here with all slogans and stuff, and you know, like Youth for Kennedy and stuff like that. I actually have this one on my shelf back at my house. It's a very nice and well done museum, though, from what I see so far. Richard Nixon. Oh. This is the Nixon ticket who Kennedy ran against. Okay.
It is essential that a man who's president of this country certainly stand for every program that will be
We have
and I stand
a model of Kennedy and Nixon's debate stage.
That he not allow a dollar
I don't know if these are
that could be
used
better
or not.
spent by the people themselves.
I don't think so, but if
Mr.
they are, it's
Nixon
pretty
comes out of
cool.
the Republican Party. He was nominated by it. And it is a fact that through most of these last 25 years, the Republican leadership has opposed federal aid for education, medical care for the aged, development of the Tennessee Valley, development of our natural resources. I think Mr. Nixon is an effective leader of his party. I hope he would grant me the same. The question before us is, which point of view,
See, it's
which
cool to
party do
see
we
both
want to lead the
candidates
United States?
having mutual respect for each other.
Mr. Nixon, would you like to comment on that statement?
The next question, the Republican campaign.
Then we have election night right here, and that's him covering the election.
Next president of the
California Republican.
I am sure this is just as enthusiastic as you are for me, and I thank you for that.
This place is legit.
This is the inaugural address. This is the inaugural address.
They got the Bible that he used to take the oath of office right here. You saw in the video. Fitzgerald Family Bible.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. This is the space room. This is one of the things Kennedy was famous for.
And we're going to find it. And the moon and the planets are there. And we hope for knowledge and peace are there. And therefore, as he said, we have God's blessings to go.
So right here, we have the nuclear test ban treaty, agreed to by Moscow, August 5th, 1963, and used by Kennedy's son on October 7th, 1963, a little over a month before he died. So this would have been one of the last things Kennedy signed before his untimely death in November 1963. Office of the Attorney General. This is a model of Bobby Kennedy's office. JFK's brother was assassinated after JFK while he was running for president. Likely would have won that election if he didn't die.
Have some having a brother here, and we are closely knit family. But I don't think certainly that I'm any answer to that. And we have the same relationship that we
Bobby Kennedy's desk. A bunch of stuff that was his.
In the last analysis, he has to make the decisions, and very difficult decisions. And he might discuss the matter with me, and more frequently, for instance, with Vice President. All of our actions with justice and fairness.
The old phone. That phone. Why is there no queue? Oh, no queue.
Here we go. I am pleased to accept the position of the Attorney General of the United States.
This is what it would have looked like to sit at Bobby Kennedy's desk. Got glasses.
We say that a great deal more can be done. We say that we're going to do more. But when we've got to consider where we started at, we want your help and assistance. Anybody that knows any, or any of you who are interested in working in the Department of Justice, you're welcome to the Department.
Decisions and very difficult decisions. And we might discuss the matter with me, and more frequently, for instance, with Vice President Johnson.
not the real desk because I'm pretty sure Trump has it right now. But this is a lot of stuff he had in his office. This, you can see it's still in November of 1963. So that was when he left the White House for the last time. Got some of Kennedy's notes here. JFK's notes from off-the-record meeting on Vietnam in 1963.
CBS News. In Dallas, Texas, 3 shots were fired at President Kennedy's motorcade in downtown Dallas. The first reports say that President Kennedy has been seriously wounded by this shooting. United Press says that the wounds for President Kennedy perhaps could be fatal. From Dallas, Texas, the flash, apparently official, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Piece of the Berlin Wall. I think every presidential library has a piece of it, or I think a lot of them do. One of my favorite quotes. Now we walk out here. We have Boston right there. A lot of the reason why they probably picked this spot because of the amazing views of the harbor and Boston itself. They got the American flag hanging there. It's really cool. Got some forts and stuff. So you just got people walking, taking a jog. Robert F. Kennedy. So we got the flag right there. And right there is the archives where you can submit a request to get some time up there if you do research or anything like that. But this is really cool. Definitely recommend it if you're in the area. All of this will not be finished in the first 100 days, nor will it be finished in the first 1,000, or in the life of this administration, or even perhaps in our lifetime on this planet. But let us begin from Kennedy's inaugural address. Some staff pics from the archives. We got JFK Cafe where I just had some food. And then we have the shop over here we're gonna take a look at. JFK football, definitely getting that. Jackets. And that will do it from the JFK Presidential Library. Alright, so we're back in the Presidential Library. That was one of the coolest experiences I've ever done. It was amazing. Something that I definitely recommend if you're in the area. And I'm going to talk about it a little bit because there's some stuff that I missed on film. But first we're going to show off what I got there because they had a really nice shop with a large variety of different things you could get there. So I'm going to show that off real quick. We got New England Patriots press penny from a rest stop on the way there, but this is what I got at the library. So first, the register for $11.99, challenge coin, just has the library logo and then Kennedy's signature on the back. We got for $12.95 a JFK quotations book. So it's a small book, and inside of it, it has all of JFK's most popular quotes. So it says the quote, where it was said at, the date, and it's really cool. So this will be something that I guess I'll just read when I have time, or if I'm just bored, I guess. But it's something cool to have if you ever want to, like, find a JFK quote, I guess. But this is definitely the coolest thing I got. So for $30, we got a JFK Presidential Library football. This is going to make its way up onto my shelf. As you can see, it's a football with the seal on it, the logo. And the significance of this is that back when the Kennedys lived at their big compound in Massachusetts, the whole family would always go there in the summer. And one of the things that they would do for fun is go out in the yard, go out on the beach, and play football. There's videos of them doing it. And football was just one of their favorite things to do for fun. So this made its way right to the front of the shop in the library. So this was something I had to pick up. I'm a really big football fan, obviously. As you can see, we got all the quarterbacks there up on the shelf. So this was something I had to pick up, and this definitely will make its way on my shelf somewhere. Alright, so I want to talk a little bit about the museum because I got everything I wanted to on camera. Just there was a couple things I wanted to point out because I didn't give too much commentary. A lot of it was a walkthrough because it's a museum and you want to be respectful of museums, and obviously being JFK's museum, you want to remain respectful and not really get in anyone's way because it's a really sentimental place. Obviously his presidency was cut short, so obviously as in any museum you kind of want to remain respectful and not get in anyone's way. So I was kind of trying to be like quiet when I was around other people and not like really like get in their way. So I'm going to point a couple things out. So the first thing I want to point out, one of the few things I didn't get on camera, they had JFK's dog tag, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, and that was just one of the coolest things I saw, in my opinion. It was like right when you walked in, and it was cool to see something that he wore all the time when he was in the military. And then the whole museum, it's like his presidency in chronological order, and the first part was like the campaign trail and like the 60s itself. That was really cool. It showed off his like rivalry he had with Richard Nixon. And a lot of the whole museum was just so well done, but a lot of the museum felt like you were in the room with JFK, and it was really cool to see, especially his Oval Office, because they had a bunch of stuff that was used in his Oval Office. One thing I got on camera was a little calendar that was still set in November of 1963. Obviously, it's when he left the White House for the last time, and that was just something that kind of like was really heavy. But something that was really cool was that you got to actually walk into Bobby Kennedy's office, and you could sit at his desk, and it had a bunch of his used stuff. Bobby Kennedy was the Attorney General under JFK, and then he ran for president, but then he unfortunately was assassinated, and his son, RFK Jr., is currently the Secretary of Health and Human Services in the Trump administration. So that was really cool. You could like walk in his family's office too, his brother's office, because obviously they were really close. But the whole museum was just really well done. Then they had some monumental things shown off from JFK's political career. They had his inaugural speech, obviously his most famous quote, "Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country." They showed that speech off, and that quote was mentioned a couple times throughout the museum. They had his peace treaty that he signed in Moscow. That was one of the last things he signed. That was really cool. They had a whole room focused on the space race, because that was one thing he was famous for, was kind of helping NASA out with that. Obviously, he does have Kennedy Space Center. We've been there on the channel. But one thing I want to point out that I think they did really well was the little hallway at the end where it showed off like when he was assassinated, November 22nd, 1963. I think they did that perfectly. Because obviously the museum's focused on his presidency, not how he died. So I liked how they kind of just briefly mentioned it at the end of the museum. It was in a dark hallway they had, but it was a lot darker in real life. And they had a bunch of TVs in there. just playing like the news clips from when he died. But overall, the whole museum was just done so well. I can't say that enough. When you walked out, it had the American flag hanging. You can see it from outside the building. And then it has this beautiful view of Boston. I don't know who picked the location, but it's a perfect location. The view of Boston's beautiful, and I think JFK, if he were able to see this, it opened in 1979, he would have really liked the way this turned out. And it's just really cool to see, and something that's really special. And if you're near a presidential library, like I said, if you're in the area of JFK's or any president, I highly recommend to go check it out because they're all super cool. They all got different stuff from each of those respective presidents in there. So with that, hope you all enjoyed the video. Make sure to drop a like, hit that subscribe button if you want to see more like this on the channel, because we got some more stuff coming soon. I'm actually heading out to Disney in about a week and a half to see the Muppet Vision closure and experience that one more time. And then this video will also be getting posted on Memorial Day, so happy Memorial Day. And we want to thank all our veterans that are either currently serving or that have served our country. We want to thank you, and we cannot thank you all enough. So with that, that'll do it for today's video. God bless America, and God bless you all, and I'll see y'all next time.